All right, let's talk Halo collars. So we're gonna go through both of these. We have the Halo 3, this is the large size one, and then we have the Halo 4 collar, which just came out right now in 2024. And I have both of these, and we're gonna go over some of the pros and cons and what I like about them and what I don't and what might be the best fit for your dog. So first, we started off with the Halo 3 collar. Now, if you're just learning about the Halo 3 collar right now, as I'm telling you, what this is a huge improvement over a lot of other dog GPS fencing systems. So what this is, it is a GPS enabled fence. Now think of some of those other in the ground wire invisible fence type products where you put a wire down and then they wear a collar, and as they approach the fence, they're going to get a beep, a buzz, and a static correction, and that keeps them inside the fence instead of a traditional fence. Now this does the exact same thing with one major improvement. It is all GPS based. So what you do is you put this on your dog. There's a whole training program that goes along with it that Cesar Millan puts on, so the training is amazing. But you put this on and then you go onto an app, and with that app you drop little pins on a basically an overhead satellite map, and then that creates your yard. You can also walk around the yard with the GPS collar in your hand with the app and set that fence. But you set your perimeter in the app and then you turn it on, and from there, now this talks to the satellites GPS wise, and as your dog approaches that fence, imaginary fence based on GPS, it will give them a correction to keep them inside your yard. Now the cool thing about this too is it also is both Wi-Fi and cellular enabled. And what's cool about that is it is going to be giving your dog, or it's going to be giving you the ability to track your dog and give your dog feedback remotely. Now, is that important? Well, for me, it was very important, because we take a lot of trips and we have a runaway dog and an escape artist dog. So even though you see some of these fences behind me, they jump them. And that's why I have this fence. But I was in Hawaii on the beach and I got an alert that my dog was out, and I was able to see exactly where he was with the GPS collar over 3,000 miles away, and tell my pet sitter, hey, by the way, Nalo got out. Could you go over to the house and check on him? Once he got out, he got corrected by the fence and he went straight to the front door and just sat there and waited for the pet sitter to let him back in. So overall, this is an amazing product, and this is the Halo 3. Now, size-wise, it's a little bulky. We're not gonna beat around the bush. It's definitely a big collar, but it does on the bottom, it has a speaker where it will allow you to give the dog corrections through beeps or praise. There's a couple of modes on it where you can tell the dog, good boy, or make a whistle sound, or go home, come home, things like that. So it's got a bunch of good positive reinforcement, and that is the key. All of the training with these are based on positive reinforcement. But yeah, so the Halo 3 collar here, it's got sort of a canvas cover. You can open it up and inside it's going to be plastic, and then there's just a couple of buttons on the front here. One button right here, which is the on-off button, and then it's kind of hard to see because it's a little dirty. That paw print, that has a bunch of lights on it telling you various things, whether it's charging, whether it's getting an update, things like that. But fairly bulky, nice strong clasp. It has a lot of extra material here, so you can cut it down, but based on the size of your dog. So this fits about, my dog, he's about 90 pounds, and it fits great. Now the Halo 4 collar, they just redesigned, and it is significantly smaller. You can tell the difference. It's still a little bit bulky, but the actual amount of size on it is much smaller, and it has a bit more of a pivot right here, so it's just a little bit different. They've redesigned some of the things as well, so the charging port's a little bit different, the power button is a little bit different, and overall pretty small. We just got this one and we're still training our second dog on it, so we haven't installed the metal prongs that are for the static charge, but it's great. They now come in a one-size-fits-all situation. So before, you could get this in, I think, small, medium, or large, and they just changed the size of the strap. With the Halo 4, they just gave you one size, and this strap was 8 miles long, so you could put any size dog on it. Okay, so let's talk about some of the changes they've made from the Halo 3 collar, which, by the way, is a absolutely fantastic collar. So if you're looking for one, I still have nothing but praise for the Halo 3 and the Halo 4. So according to Halo, it is about 33% smaller on the actual unit here, and it's about 18% lighter. And honestly, I can tell a difference. The Halo 3 is a little bit heavier, and I mean, you can just see by looking at it, it is a bigger, bulkier collar overall. So it's a smaller, lighter collar. They've integrated now dual GPS technology, which I'm actually really happy about with the Halo 3. One of the the Halo 4. One of the shortcomings of the Halo 3 is when your dog was inside or near a building, it would be possible for the GPS to not get as strong of a signal because of its visibility of the sky, and it might lose a little bit of accuracy. It still is great, it still did the job, but the closer you got to buildings or tight in where GPS might be harder to see, it didn't do quite as well. Halo 4's corrected that with the dual band technology, which is absolutely fantastic. The second thing is you can see the speaker. Now that is the speaker for audio, both corrections and praise. Like I said, they do both good boy, come home, things like that, positive stuff, and it also does whistles, beeps, and everything. Now look at the size of the one on the Halo 3. Significantly smaller. So the new Halo 4, much bigger speaker for enhanced audio output. And that's pretty good too, especially if you have a dog that's easily distracted by other things. They might need a little bit more. They also have improved both the output of the vibration, and they've included some different modes. So whether it's a pulse, a heartbeat, things like that. So the vibration is better. And they also improved the emitter for the static correction as well. So it's just a more stable way to deliver that correction. As far as the static, we mostly have gotten to the point where our dogs will respond almost 99 to 100% on both beeps and vibration. So that's not as big of a deal for me. I do like the dual band GPS though significantly. And I also like that they've gone to a one size fits all model. It just makes it easier for both Halo and for you to choose, because now you don't have to worry about if you're getting the right size or not. This will fit any dog from a little tiny Chihuahua. Well, maybe not. That's about as small as you can get it. So maybe like a Schnauzer all the way up to a giant Great Dane or something like that. So a pretty big range of dogs can fit in this. But the biggest thing is it has a 25% longer battery life than the Halo 3. Now, the Halo 3, when it was brand new, it would easily get about 24 hours of runtime, no problem. Now this is going to get over that, so we're probably talking closer to 32 to 36 hours of runtime, but that is dependent on how you are communicating with it. So if you're in Wi-Fi in your house, that uses a lot less battery than if it is out in the wild using a cell phone signal. It just takes a little bit more for it to do that. With my Halo 3, we have terrible Wi-Fi and it's on cell phone service most of the time in our backyard. We're getting between 17 and 18 hours a day on it, which is more than enough because they only wear it about 12 hours a day during the daylight hours. This one, we are getting 24 hours plus, and it never runs out of battery. So it's great. We plug them in every night. They're ready to go in the morning. Now, the other thing I wanted to show you guys, let me go ahead and pull up the app and I'll show you a little bit about the Halo Collar app and how it works. All right, so we have the app open right now, and as you can see, I'm gonna pick up Zion's collar. That was the pink one, and as I walk around, you can see the collar moving as well right here. Now, this is the Halo 4 collar, so it's very accurate. In fact, it is getting a more accurate position than my iPhone, so really cool. Now, the neat thing about this is, as I was saying, you can manually give corrections, and let me just show you an example about that. So when I pull this up, I'm going to send feedback to just Zion, which is the Halo 4 collar. We're going to do a warning. Now, if you heard that, I'll do it one more time. That was the beep at a low setting. You could also do or a whistle, or even tell them to go home. So really cool. But you can also do the boundary feedback, which is the buzzing, or the emergency, which is the static. Now, this is really cool because you can control the collars by just selecting which pet you're controlling. So we have the Halo 3, which is Nalo, or you can select the Halo 4, which is Zion, or you can select them both and give them both corrections at the same time. You can set up your fence